friends, it's Sarah with Felines First. It's okay, baby. You're okay. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about a fundraiser that we run year-round. And I know some of you are like, oh, another fundraiser. Didn't I just give money to Boo for her stomatitis surgery? And yes. And we want to say thank you so much to the people who donated to that fundraiser. It was a really huge thing. It was a lot of money that we needed to raise in a very short amount of time, and you guys came through for us in a big way. We did raise all of the money plus a couple of extra bucks, very much at the last minute, and so we're super grateful to that group of people who came through for us on that. And I just wanted to talk about a fundraiser that's a little simpler than that. In that particular case, like with some of the other fundraisers that we've had to do kind of last minute, where we have had to raise a whole bunch of money in a very short amount of time, we did try to add some cool prizes or rewards or raffles for people who were calling in to the vet specifically to donate money, or donating to us through PayPal rather than Facebook. With Facebook, it takes a little while for us to get the money, whereas with PayPal or with donating directly to the vet, those things were going to those accounts immediately. And it did get a little kind of hectic. After we were taking care of Boo, we needed to then figure out who had donated and by how much, and we needed to make raffle tickets, and I think they've either pulled those raffle tickets or are going to very soon. I'm not 100% certain on that. But it did get kind of confusing in there, and we would rather do less of that. I mean, obviously with cat rescue, we're going to have those kinds of situations where we're having an emergency and we need to raise a lot of money in a short amount of time for a large vet bill. That just cannot be helped. But for day to day, we would rather have more regular fundraising where we're bringing in money regularly, generally smaller amounts of money, kind of trickles in, but that's okay. That goes to pay for things like spays and neuters when we have the money, obviously when we have the money, but it's more for like food and litter. We get a lot of toys donated to us, so we generally don't have to buy toys. Sometimes we do get in donations of food and litter that happens to be the kind that we have found is best for our rescue animals. But a lot of the times the donations that we bring in or the donations that are given to us are not necessarily appropriate. Sometimes we'll get foods like prescription foods. And therefore a specific kind of a health management type of a situation, and maybe we don't have a cat like that in our care, or it's not appropriate to give that kind of donation food to the other cats in our care. And it's not that we're not grateful for those, but for our regular everyday kind of thing, there are specific brands and specific kinds that we use for food and litter. And so the donations that trickle in for the everyday, those are what we would rather be using for those kinds of things. So I wanted to talk a little bit about our Patreon. Now, I've heard this word pronounced both Patreon and Patreon. I think it's Patreon, but the internet seems divided as well. It's at patreon.com. And this is how you spell it, Patreon. And that is a fundraising site where, well, I guess it's less fundraising and more of a subscription. It is where you sign up to give money to us on a regular basis. So you can choose the amount of money that you give. For instance, I don't have a lot of extra cash to spare, so I signed up to give $5 a month. It's tax deductible. It comes out on the 1st, and you don't have to worry about it. And that's money that goes to us to purchase things like food and litter. And sometimes, if there's a little bit left over, sometimes we can use it for spay and neuters, regular purchases of things like vaccines or dewormer, things like that. Stuff that we need to get our kids ready for adoption. Because all of our kids go out spayed and neutered, dewormed, defleed, microchipped. We're with a great microchip program. What are you doing? Don't eat that. So things like that, little everyday things that we need to run the rescue. And so with Patreon, that money is there at the beginning of the month for us to use on those items, and then we don't have to be spamming your Facebook feed with, oh no, we need money for food, oh no, we need donations, things like that. You see those sometimes on Facebook where it says like, such and such rescue is going to run out of food by such and such day, and we need everybody to call in and make donations. And for some reason, a lot of those read like scams to me. I'm not 100% certain if they are or not. I would hope not, but kind of can't always tell. So why should you become a patron with us? Firstly, because it's awesome. But also because it allows you to donate to us without having to think about it. If all you have to remember is to add that into your monthly expenses, $5, $10, $20, whichever, then you don't have to think about, like, oh gosh, I feel so bad I haven't donated to Felines First this month, but oh wait, yes I did, I'm a member of Patreon. Thirdly, we are putting up bonus materials on our Patreon feed. And these are not to say that, we're like withholding things or we're hiding things from you guys. It's mostly just like behind the scenes videos, extra pictures of things, first look at stuff. On Patreon, we did first look for our 2019 Pride t-shirts, and we did an unboxing. You get bonus videos and things. If you were looking at pictures of Bauer on our Facebook page, he's a little Siamese kitten, and going, hey, where did this kitten come from? This is the first time I've heard of him. That's because Bauer is from the Who's the Boss litter, and the Who's the Boss litter is actually being featured on our Patreon right now. I am fostering Bauer. He is part of that group of kittens where I trapped them when Jessie was on vacation. I trapped them at her home. They were outside. The last two kittens were. And if you're wondering what happened to those guys, they're at my house. My roommates and I are fostering them right now, and we've been putting up extra pictures and videos of them. So it's not hidden content, it's bonus content. We have also been thinking of talking about making Patreon only merchandise. So for instance, making a smaller run of buttons or stickers next year, specifically before our Pride season, before summer festival season, specifically for Patreon members. So they would either get those for free, or we would charge a small amount for them, but they would only be available to Patreon members. And remember, you can donate as much or as little as you like. So $1 per month. I've seen somebody who said that they supported 85 or so of their favorite artists on Patreon by giving them $1 a month. So you can choose to support a lot of people this way, or you can choose to support, one or two people in this way, but give them more. So, it can cost you as little as $1 a month if that's all you have to give, if that's all you want to give. You can certainly give more than that. If that's a thing that you can afford and that you want to do, that's awesome. We've had this Patreon for a little while. We're feeling that we're not taking good advantage of it, and we wanted to put it out there to see if maybe more people might be interested in donating regularly to us in this way. Remember that the cans of cat food that we use are a little more than $3 per can, and we go through roughly 8 of them at the main foster home out in Lafayette. And so donating $5 is roughly a can and a half. The kittens are loose in my house right now. So yeah, if you've been thinking about, wanting to donate to us on the regular and maybe not waiting for another big emergency to come around, you might consider going to patreon.com and checking us out. It does come with the perks of, extra kitten pictures. Hot dog, especially in these warmer months when we are more likely to have kittens. I am thinking of cool stuff that we can do around the holidays and during the months when we don't have kittens, or when we have fewer kittens. It's also how you can get a first look at some of the cats that we have available for adoption. Sometimes we'll put up a photograph or a video a few days before we add it to Facebook. We'll put that up on Patreon so that people kind of get a first look at that. So if you were thinking of, adding a cat to your home, a couple of cats to your home, somebody who's looking to add some cats to your home, and you go, oh, hey, I saw this cool cat on Patreon, maybe that's helpful for you. So yeah, Patreon, check us out. If that's not something you're interested in, okay, that's great. Thank you for watching. Please continue to save your bottles and cans for us, or to consider donating to us when we are having those scary emergency vet bills where we desperately need to fundraise a lot of money in a short amount of time. But if you are considering Patreon, that's great. We would love to have you. Definitely join up if that's a thing that appeals to you. And now I think I have to go rescue some naughty kittens from doing things that they should not be doing. So I will see you guys later. Bye.